Yeah, I hope it's gonna be a long one.
All right, I think we're about ready here. Pencil lead, I guess, right?
Well,
or that was the foxhole one.
That was the foxhole
Yeah.
one. But
This Amateur Radio Roundtable is brought to you in part by ICOM America. All right, hello to everyone out there watching tonight. You're watching Amateur Radio Roundtable, and you may be listening on International Shortwave on WBCQ on 5130. We simulcast all of our shows on shortwave. And if you are out there on shortwave listening, you can join the show if you have internet access. Just go to w5kub.com, w5kub.com, and click on join the chat room and watch the video, and you can join our show and be part of it there. If you are listening on shortwave, send us an email. Let us know where you are. I'd love to hear from you. Send that email to tom@w5kub.com. Today is June the 9th, I think, 2020. Yeah. Okay, boy, it's been kind of a hectic day today. Even up to the last minute, you kind of wonder what's going on here. We had a very close lightning hit this morning. You know, when the lightning hits and you count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi for thunder, there was no time to put a Mississippi in here. I mean, it was like instantaneous. So as soon as it hit, we lost power in the entire neighborhood. It was at about 8 hours today. I'm not sure what the problem was. They were a little slow getting it fixed. We ran on a generator for a while this afternoon. But as we were getting the show put together tonight, we have one slight little technical problem that we have discovered at the moment, and that is our remote people on Zoom, they're not seeing us. They're not seeing me or seeing the show tonight. We're going to see them, but they can't see us. But that's okay. That's not a big problem there. So hey, I had a pretty good net tonight. We had, I don't know, 30 check-ins or so on 7180 on 40 meters. And would love to have you join us some Tuesday night. It's every Tuesday at 5:30 Central Time on 7180. Tonight we kind of got down to 7179. There seems to be some Spanish stations that are really are on 7180 all the time now. So we moved down a little bit. Katie, I talked to Katie earlier. She's not going to be with us tonight. She is kind of sad. One of her very close friends, I think from many years ago, passed away, I think today, and she just didn't feel like being on the show tonight. So Katie will probably be back with us next Tuesday. But we do have Glenn with us tonight, and Bill, and we've got Dave with us tonight. And it's going to be a very informal night tonight. We're going to talk about several different things. And we'll probably open the phone lines up for everybody probably, halfway into the show just to see what's on your mind here. So let's just go around the horn here and say hello to people out there. And hey, there we go. Bill's the first person that popped up there. How you doing, Bill?
Hey, doing great. Following your sky ants. I think they're celebrating a little too much, and because they're going in circles out over the Pacific. But you can talk about that later.
Yeah, I want to talk about that later. And I guess sky ants. They're really not astro ants. Maybe they're sky ants. Either term will work there. Hey, you got any bad weather down there?
We had a little tornado scare heading right for my house, but it dissipated before it got there, fortunately. But whenever you have a tropical storm coming through, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, I looked at the radar here the last day or two, and it's just red spots all over, man. It looks like Mississippi and Tennessee have the measles over here, man. It's just spotted, man. Oh, okay. Well, let's see, Dave, how you doing tonight, Dave?
Hello, good evening, Tom. It's good to be here from Colorado. While you're enjoying lightning, we had, and this is the evening of June 8th, we had a freeze last night.
Oh, man.
It got down below freezing. We had frost. It tried to snow, but it wouldn't stick, although some people up at higher elevations got snow.
Yeah.
And I had another chance to go flying this morning, so life is good here in Colorado.
Okay. Well, are you doing pretty good in your flying?
Great. I'll tell you about my video when it's my turn again.
Okay, all right. We'll get into that now. Yeah. Hey, just real quick, have all your landings been just really nice and smooth?
I understand a good landing is one you can walk away from.
Yeah.
And a great landing is one where you can use the airplane again.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk more about that a little later there. And we've got Glen Popiel with us. Hey, Glenn, how you doing, man?
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good.
You had all that thunder and lightning and stuff, and here I am, 20 miles away? And I didn't get hardly any of that, just maybe a little bit of rain, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I tell you, yesterday afternoon it looked like midnight out here, and again this morning about 8 o'clock it looked about the same. It was pretty tough, man.
Yeah, it was dark, but I heard, just a couple brief, periods of rain, and that was pretty much it for us.
Oh, yeah.
And, so I've been tinkering, and one of the things on my mind that we probably need to start thinking about and talking about is field days coming.
Yeah.
It's only, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off.
Well, are you guys going to do about the same thing you did last year, the club, and same locations?
Yeah, we're going to do a little hybrid. Those that want to do a group event, we will be at that pavilion, and we'll be doing a full setup. And those that want to work from home will, of course, be working from home and adding their score into the clubs with the new rules.
Okay, well, cool. I'll try to get down and visit you guys again. I'll tell you, it was hot last year, man. It was really hot. And it may be the same thing like that this week.
Yeah, it's that.
This week is getting hot out there. I mean, this field day is going to probably be.
Oh yeah, I was working outside a little bit yesterday and today, and it's just so humid.
Yeah.
You just race to get back inside.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, hey, let's just. Well, first, hey, Dave, let's jump back over to you and let's just see what you got to tell us tonight. What do you want to talk about tonight, Dave?
I had an invitation from the Rochester Amateur Radio Association, or RARA, in New York.
Yeah.
to give them a talk, which I've done a couple times now. We do it over a web conference, and they asked me to give a talk, and I said, "What do you want me to talk about?" And they said, "Noise." I says, "Well, are you saying that what I'm going to say is noise, or do you want me to talk about noise?" And well, they wanted me to talk about noise, and they left it wide open. And I said, "Okay, well, how long do you want me to talk? 20 minutes, 30 minutes?" "No, about 75 to 90.
Oh, gee.
What? It took me last week all day Tuesday into the night to put the church together for that. And I gave the talk, I think it was last Wednesday, and it went pretty well. No hate mail. So I took those same charts and re-narrated them for YouTube videos, put one up yesterday and one up today, 30 minutes each. I got it down to 60 minutes total, trying to give what I call a survey of noise, where it comes from and what you can do about it. And the video that I put up yesterday has already had 3,000 views. And remarkably, this will change as soon as I say it, okay? Somebody will change it. I hope not, but somebody will. It has no thumbs down on the video.
Oh,
All
boy.
are thumbs up. That's pretty rare. So I guess people liked it. I put up the first half was about noise, all the different sources from thermal noise to over the horizon radar and foreign broadcast stations and everything, including distorted audio being sent out by hams. I even had a chart in there on noise from hams. And I talked about Riley Hollingsworth's Big Knob, a great cure for QRM. So today's was kind of what you can do about it. I started out with receiver noise figure and went through, a lot of the usual practical mitigations for noise. So I'm pleased with the response to it. I've never done a video on noise, either that or really trying to get rid of noise or work around noise, which includes QRM, QRN, all of the other varieties. But it was a lot of work to put together for the club, but once I had the set of charts, it was easy to put together a video for that. So that's now up on my channel. If you go to youtube.com/Dave Casler, DaveCasler, one S and no T's, you'll find my channel and you can find the video on noise there. I am, as always, interested in comments that people have, and look forward to seeing them on this video too. So that's what I've been up to here recently. And I was doing a video a day during the COVID pandemic. Now that that's letting up a little bit, I'm also letting up a little bit on the idea of a video a day. But boy, I tell you,
that's a lot of
during
work.
April, I don't know why, but my advertising revenue shot up really high. I think because people had nothing else to do but watch videos, and now it's already settled back down closer to normal, which is good. I mean, it's good for the country that we're starting to settle back down a little bit. I had my first official outing on Saturday. My wife and I went to a picnic for some aviation club, and golly, my first brat in ages, and the first chance to actually talk to some real people in ages. So back to net.
All right. Well, boy, it sounds like you've really been busy. And I'll tell you, to people out there listening, to make as many videos as you do, that's a lot of work. A lot of work, man.
It is.
You know, and especially, I mean, you make them so neat and you edit them and all that, you know. That's really what takes the time, you know.
Yeah. There are, in the recordings on the videos, on the audio, there were a lot more and in the originals than in the ones that went out on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, and you can always, you know, take out the little things where you kind of goofed and, you know. You can do so many things. All right, well, very good. We put your address up there on the screen while you were talking, and people hopefully will go to that site there. Hey, everybody, give him a thumbs up now. You know. Thumbs up for everything.
Yeah, if there's a thumbs down when I get off of here, I'll know where it came from.
All right. All right, let's see. I've got a couple pictures here that I'm going to show. I think. I want to talk a minute about, just give everybody a report on where we are with everything. What is that? Oh, I know what that is. There we go. There we go. You know, you guys aren't seeing this. Okay. All right. So, well, anyway, let's talk about. Okay, let me get back to where I was. All right, hey, real quick, let's just give an update real quick, Bill, on the W5KUB 18. It's over the Pacific. It's trying to make its way back for lap 2, and it keeps getting into a Ferris wheel or something out there. And it goes around, and then to come out of that circle. And by the way, that circle, it takes 80 hours to go around. And then it comes around again, and there's another circle out there it's going to take, and it's another 80 hours. So we've really been delayed getting back to the U.S. here, but we're about halfway across the Pacific now, aren't we, Bill?
You're right in the middle of the Pacific, north of Midway Islands.
I think we just crossed the international date line.
You crossed over the international date line, and there's another balloon out there. I'm not sure what his designator, but it's BA3UAL, and he's about 300 miles east of you in that same region, going around in circles as well.
I'll have to start following him to see where we're going to go. You know.
Right. So, so I'm thinking your sky ants are definitely celebrating a little too much, and they've gone off course. Their rudder is stuck.
Well, you know, a lot of some people watching the show may not know what we're talking about here, but someone asked in Facebook, how do you steer the balloon? And we came up with, well, we've got 3 trained ants on board, and we've been going along with that theme, and everybody on Facebook has been kind of going along with that and putting comments in there. But this is Huey and Dewey right here. Louie never gets his picture made. So I don't know, but this is Huey and Dewey, and they're the ants, and they went through a 2-year vigorous training to learn how to fly that balloon up there. And Dewey, and they're the ants, and they went through a 2-year vigorous fly that balloon up there. Now, I'm getting feedback from somebody. I don't know who that was.
That was me, sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, since you guys aren't getting a picture back, you needed to watch the show and see what that was. So anyway, we've been having fun with the ants right there, you know, how difficult it is to train the ants to do these things. But we did promote them the first lap around. We did promote them. Each lap they make around the Earth, we're going to promote them another rank higher. So we're getting ready, hopefully, to do another promotion here pretty soon. And you know, it might be a good thing, Bill, that we got stuck out in the Pacific going in circles, because this hurricane that came through here, it's really been some bad weather here near the finish line for lap 2. So maybe that'll kind of clear out a little bit, and the skies will kind of open up, and then maybe we can eventually get here.
Right.
Hey,
I wanted to also mention, Dave was talking about noise, and curiously enough, I have some things to talk about that very topic as far as antenna noise.
Okay.
Keep in mind that Tom's balloon, W5KUB-18, is only running about 12 milliwatts or so on 20 meter HF whisper mode. The only saving grace there is whisper mode can get you about 30 dB in the noise level as a copy. So you can run very low power levels that way. But just simple things in your ham shack can create a tremendous amount of noise. Your TV set in your living room, for example, you'd be surprised if you just turn that off, how it affects 20 meter reception. But in my particular case, my flat screen monitor in my ham shack went out. I had a really nice one that was low noise and worked great. Well, it finally bit the dust, so I got another monitor in. And when I turned that on, it produces all kinds of hash across the 20-meter band, and it actually reduces my noise. I mean, increases my noise levels by about 10 dB. And sometimes it drifts right on top of the whisper band. So if I really need to record something that's critical on weak signal, like one of these balloons, I have to turn the monitor off and come back and see what it picked up later. So, but you had some great reception from yesterday, from all the way into Arizona, from the center of the Pacific, and hardly anybody else was picking it up. You had a station in Alaska, a station in Hawaii, and W7SUA in Arizona. And his secret is he's taken a lot of efforts to make his noise level as low as possible. There's another station in New Zealand, ZL1RS, Bob. He has gone to beverage antennas, which anybody can build a beverage. They're pretty easy to build, actually, if you have a little bit of land to put them in.
You know, I always thought a beverage antenna was a whole bunch of beer cans soldered together. In fact, I think many years ago, people actually were building antennas by putting cans together like that. Did you ever hear that?
Yeah, maybe so. But he.
What you mean? Pull one of these guys up, the W7 or the ZL?
Try the W7. It's QSL.net. I'm sorry, QSL.net.
Wait.
QSL.net /ZL1RS /bev.html.
/ what? Just HTML?
Yeah, QSL.net /ZL1 Radio Sierra /bev. bev.html.
bev.html. Okay.
This is a great website.
Let me pull
you
him
have
up.
that up?
Let's pull him up here. QSL.net. ZL1RS.
But he describes how to make a beverage and how to decrease your noise level using those common mode field filters on the coax.
No.
Got about 20 of those common mode filters, those ferrite filters that clamp on right at the feed point, and he says that reduces your noise level quite a bit as well. But he's got great descriptions of how to make a beverage. You need a 9-to-1 balun.
Yeah.
And a termination resistor at the end. It's a receive-only antenna.
Yeah.
But
now I've got the site, Bill. Sorry that you're not seeing this, so it'll be difficult for you to discuss it. But I do have that page pulled up, the QSL.net.
Okay. Can I share my screen and show you?
I think you probably can.
Okay, here we go. Share screen.
All
Let's
right.
see if this works.
All right.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
The host has done that?
What was that URL again? What was the call sign?
Okay, it's QSL.net /Zulu Lima 1 Radio Sierra /BEV, like Bravo Echo Victor .html.
So I'm trying to see where I can let you share, but I don't know where to go.
It comes up here.
Well, I'm not seeing
just
it.
the northern part.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in the chat room, Tom.
Well, I've got the site pulled up. If that's what you want to show. Well, no, wait. It says error. Well, it says QSL.net.
You're getting an error for some reason.
Yeah.
Let me copy and paste the website, because he's got great information there on exactly how to build a beverage and what balance you need and what to do to get your maximum performance possible. And I'm just going to copy and paste this website into your chat room, and that way you'll well, if I can find it again.
All right, and I'll have to retype it because that's going to be on a different computer, but that's okay. So the 9 to 1,
the 20-meter antenna.
Yeah, there it is. Anyways, it's a receive-only antenna. Just keep that in mind. And it's not particularly high gain, but where you really,
QSL.
what really shines, it's very directional, and it's very low noise. And he is able to pick these weak signal balloons up from when no one else can. And one of the Hawaii stations that is standard on Whisper actually has a couple beverages up that has been picking up your balloon in the last day or two as well.
Okay,
So,
I've got that site up now. There it is. Got a picture there of his, I guess, his house or something, or maybe his
right.
hand
Yeah,
track.
if you scan down
Uh-huh.
from that, you'll see the all his information.
It talks
and
about
he
the single
basically
wire.
has the fence posts that you put in. They're insulated fence posts.
Uh-huh.
And you just run the wire right along those fence posts along some insulators.
Right.
And so these beverages, you probably want them to be about 2 wavelengths long, 1 to 2 wavelengths long, but he's got one that's multiple wavelengths because he's got these pastures everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a great diagram right there showing how he puts together a very simple beverage.
I wonder if a beverage
directional.
works best if it's straight or if you could actually bend it.
He said it's not overly critical as far as bending it. So there's a great description showing how you put the balun on it and how to feed it, and he's careful about not grounding it at the feed point, and you do have to have a termination at the far end. But he has one that's, I think, almost a mile long.
Yeah.
But the way he changes the direction is he just walks along, pulls up the little, they're like tomato steaks.
Yeah.
Only he pulls them up, moves them over, and starts at one end, and he just can adjust the direction just by walking the stakes back and forth.
So this antenna is really, really close to the ground, like 3 or 4 feet off the ground.
It only has to be 3 or 4 feet above the ground. I think most of his are about 3 foot high.
Yeah.
If you have some land and you want to target a particular area within about a 20-degree beam width, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
And you can, like I say, you can have several of these up. It'd be a little difficult to mow under, so
Yeah.
But they're a great little antenna, and this website will show you a lot of great detail on that's the termination end of how to do the terminator.
So I'm looking at a picture here. I see something across the horizon going perpendicular. I don't know if that's just a fence. It may be a different antenna. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got hundreds of acres there.
Yeah.
And it also helps that he's in a very remote area of the North Island of New Zealand. Now he's got a project now where he's he's been receiving the balloons that go across the southern hemisphere beautifully, and I'm going to see if he can listen. Most of his beverages are right now east and west, but I'm going to see if he can make one that heads up toward the Pacific so he can pick yours up, because he's in range of yours right now.
Well, this is really interesting.
There's a great, there's the beam width pattern.
Yeah.
On a single wire beverage.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can actually phase a pair of them together.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of QRSS, slow CW stuff, and from great distances. Now, the fellow in Arizona that was picking it up, he also has taken a great care to decrease his noise level, and he's got a beam antenna up on a ridge, high up on a ridge, and he was the one picking you up yesterday.
All right, I've got him up now. This is W7SUA.
And he was when he lived in Virginia, he was doing balloons. His former call sign was N for ZBT, ZPT, and I love this shot of his antenna array with the rainbow.
I've taken several when I had a tri-bander up. I've taken several with the the jet trail behind behind a plane. You just kind of line it up with the antenna, where it looks like it's putting out
several
smoke,
hundred
man.
feet away from his house on the edge of a cliff. So he's got a great takeoff angle, particularly towards your direction.
Yeah.
If you scan down a little bit, you can see the great lengths he took to put this installation in from a fair distance from his house. He's taken a lot of care in grounding, and this is his old station. See the SX-101?
Yeah.
Anybody remember who made that radio?
It was Helicrafter, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
I had one of those too. It's a Helicrafter's SX-101A, one of the best receivers I ever had. It had probably 30 tubes in it and weighed about 60 pounds.
Oh yeah. Hey, we could talk about the good old days again.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at there. Yeah, cool.
The Oscar satellites, they did a flight test from an airplane flying around the Midwest, and I picked them up. It had 10-meter output. I think it was Oscar 6, and so I was able to pick up their airplane test around the Midwest with that radio as Tom W7SUA in his modern station. But you'll see what he had to do to put that antenna in.
Well, I tell you though, they don't have any grass out there. That's
Well, that's the thing. But to dig down, there's not a lot of dirt either.
Yeah.
End up hitting rock pretty early on.
Yeah.
The problem I have living on a mountain, I have about 2 foot down and I'm hitting bedrock. And you'll see if you go down further what he had to do to dig the trench to put that antenna array up. So
now.
Survived.
Oh man, yeah, that's some tough digging right there. Yeah. Oh man.
So, but the message is noise levels are key when you're working with weak signal, and don't discount local noise in your house. Just start, if you have some noise that's causing issues in your passband, try and turn stuff off, all your electronics off one by one until you find the source.
Yeah.
And there are things you can do by putting chokes on power lines to really help.
He put a lot of effort into this.
Yeah, look at that. I mean,
a lot of effort, man.
Is he running coax from the antenna, or is he got a preamp of some kind?
Probably some type of hard line there. Looks like, I don't know, maybe inch and quarter. Who knows what it is?
To put the coax in.
Yeah.
Those are like PVC pipe.
Wow.
Grounding.
Well, very nice. You got it looking good.
And then he has a big junction box with everything. So it was a really, really wild installation, and you can find him on HF quite a bit running the digital modes. I think he loves to work the Olivia mode quite a bit.
What's this black stuff around his ground rod?
Maybe he hit oil. I don't know.
It looks like man, yeah.
Material.
Yeah.
Looks like
you can buy it and mix it and put it in there.
Looks like black gold, man.
Yeah.
He was trying to get the resistance below 50 ohms, and he was having trouble out there in that dry Arizona dirt.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I thought I'd show you some of that, the things that he had to go through.
Well, he's definitely got the equipment, or he's renting it or something, or he's got friends that got it. Yeah.
Interesting antenna. Does anybody know what that is?
I
Got
don't know.
traps on it.
It's a tribandwabulator or something. I don't know what it is.
I haven't seen one with traps like that.
I haven't either. Well, I don't know. I haven't either.
They have a 40-meter dipole in the middle of that too.
They look like 1 pound coffee cans.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, man.
Those are big traps.
Yeah,
It goes for highly efficient traps.
yeah. Well, he's definitely got a nice setup here. He's really, I can see why it works so well for him out there.
He's got a sky cam on top of it too. If you want to look at the view from his antenna.
Well, that's interesting. You got a sky cam up, or do you have a link for a sky cam?
It's in there.
Well, at the top of the page, or
I'm not sure if it's at the top, but
let's
it's
see. Yeah.
It's in that page somewhere.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to look that much for it. Okay. Well, okay. Well, that's interesting. And so he's picked our balloon up a few times, I guess, right?
I did yesterday. He was one of the few that picked it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
You know, Bill, I was so excited when we first started flying these about using Whisper because we've had, let's see, we've had a lot of tracking where Whisper went 9,000 kilometers, man. I mean,
Right.
it was being picked up in Australia when we were, just getting into, Africa or somewhere, and I thought, man, 9,000 kilometers is great. But I've found that there's some spots that it just don't work good, man. I guess I was expecting 6,000 miles everywhere, But this little 10 milliwatt, if it's running 10, and we have a suspicion that our power has also reduced. And we have a suspicion, Bill and I do, that maybe our power might be as low as 5 milliwatts or 3 milliwatts. And when you get out in the Pacific and the nearest
power is about half.
Yeah.
What we.
And you get out in the middle of the Pacific there, and the nearest station, it's 2,000 miles here, it's 3,000 there, it's 4,000 down there. That little 6 or 7 milliwatts just doesn't make the trip very good. Now, a few people pick it up, but it's been tough. But as we get closer to the U.S., it's going to start picking back up, I'm sure.
Oh, it'll light right up, yeah.
So, hey, Bill, I told everybody, if you try 10 times, you'll make it around the world, I think. You're not going to make it the first time unless you're really lucky. I don't know that many people are lucky. But, we've tried kind of to play with the big boys with the expensive balloons and stuff, and, it's been a challenge for the show here to meet that goal of getting a balloon around the world. Now, we did it, so we met our goal, but this is kind of this Pico ballooning can get kind of, I don't know, addictive. I mean, and Bill, we've had 9 launches, I think, in the last year or so, and you launched the first one for us. It was just the Chinese balloon. It made it all the way to Japan, just a little Chinese balloon. And we have used a number of the bigger balloons, the SBS balloons, that hadn't had much luck now. And I tell everybody, if you want to really get in here and play with the big boys, what you got to do, and here's the secret, what you got to do, you got to take 3 $100 bills out of your billfold. You got to tie it on into that string on that balloon, and you got to let it go. And you got to be willing to do that over and over and over, and you'll eventually make it, man.
That's about right.
Man. So, we made it. I'm not near as nervous as I was. I think we're going to make lap 2, and if we don't, I'm okay because we met our goal to make a lap around the world. Now, we may make mini laps. Who knows? Our friend Mel, what is it? W8MV-11's still flying. He's flying the same balloon. He's been up about 11 months now. He doesn't understand why it's staying up, but he's been up 11 months. So we could stay up months and months. So, I don't watch it every minute like I used to. I used to get up and run in there and see if it was still up. Now I just get up and I go in there to see where it is. You know, it's kind of changed a little bit. You know.
It just updated right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's been getting good reception here the last hour or two. WO7I and the station AI6VN /KH6 in Hawaii, and once again he's running. I believe he's got a.
Was it good enough to get an APRS?
Yeah, yes, and
Okay.
it's you're flying at 43,800 feet, 4.5 volts on the solar panels, looking good.
Well, let me look here. I'm going to pull it up and look at it.
And you're picking up speed, but you're still going in circles.
Well, that's because those ants decided to stop and get some Mai Tais.
That could be.
And let's see.
They're trying to loop down to Hawaii, I think.
Oh man. Well, for some reason, all I can pull up is 15. I guess we've flown so many balloons, the computer's full of them right now. It won't let me pull up the latest one. Let me refresh that page. That's what I need to do. All right, here we go. Now we can get it. I was doing updates on the web page every day about the status, but now it's getting so far into the flight that we've been up 29 days now. So let's go to.
You're going 111 miles an hour to the southeast, so you're starting
there we go. So 111 miles an hour. That's good. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, but you're going in big loops at a.
Oh yeah. Well, but that'll get us over the loop faster, you know.
Hopefully, yeah.
So let me turn the tail on here and let's see what we're looking like.
Several good reports here in the last hour.
Yeah, you can see the one loop we made, and then we're about to get into another loop right there.
Yeah, you're getting into good reception by the West Coast.
Well, that's good, and let's see what the HabHub
There you go.
prediction shows. I'm pulling HabHub prediction up here, and we'll see what it looks like. Let me turn the prediction on.
You were going over 150 miles an hour over Japan the other day.
Yeah. Okay, so there we are. It looks like we're riding a dragon, man. You know, we're fixing to make the loop again, and then we come out. It looks to me like it's going to make a third loop, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But you know, we're looking at. Oh man, just to get out of that loop right there. Well, it's hard to. I can't even get a reading on it now.
So this HabHub site, that button called High Split, that's a NOAA feature where they track trajectories for if, let's say, a volcano blows up, they want to see where the volcano dust is going to go. They can track it with this High Split site, but it's also great for tracking long duration flights in the jet stream.
And it's been pretty accurate actually when we try to see where we're going. I mean,
but yeah, you definitely look like you're going in another loop.
Yeah, we are. So you can see there we've got just a little ways to go. Let's go back to here for a second. I want to see something here. Let's just do a quick measurement here and see if we had a straight line, what it's going to be. So from here to, say, Memphis. Oh, man, Memphis, that's somewhere right in there.
You're good ways around the world on the second lap. You're about at least 3/4 of the way around.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it says, it looks like we got about 3,900 miles as the crow flies, but we know the crow's not flying here. Okay, so we're making some progress. We're inching across the Pacific there, and that's good. So, we're not ready to launch yet, and Bill, I know a lot of people have tried putting batteries on these things so we get extended tracking. I know you've got some that are battery capable. And you fly little small batteries because weight is everything.
It's about 4 grams. It'll get you a few hours past sunset. Sometimes as long as midnight during the summer.
So, you know, a lot of people are only getting maybe 4 extra hours or so, you know, tracking with a battery, maybe a little longer. But see, we're taking the challenge. We want to track 24 hours a day. 24. Now, people tell me it's impossible. They say it can't be done. They say it's already been tried. But you know what? That's a challenge for our show. We want to see what we can do. We're probably going to fail, but we're going to see what we can do. We won't know if we're going to fail until we try it. Now, here's the thing: to get that 24 hours a day, we can't fly a little bitty battery like you fly. We're going to have to fly a bigger battery, okay?
Or you can do some power management in the code.
Well, maybe power management and a little bitty battery. So, you know. So, I mean, in a big battery. So, I've been testing here with some LiPo battery. And the thing is, the LiPo battery, people say, you know, they don't work good in cold weather. You don't know how it's going to function and so forth. Will it even charge at the temperatures up there? And when we get up into the 20,000 to 40,000, we're looking at, I just pulled it up again, we're looking at maybe 56 degrees centigrade, you know, so... we could even get a little lower.
At night, it can go down to about 80 below.
Yeah. So here's what I've got. Let me show you what we just built, and I'll get you better pictures on this as we work on this. Now, Bill, you're not seeing this unless you've got to show up. But so Ed and I have built. Okay, this is a little test module here. Now, it's going to be 20-second delay. If you looked at it, you'd probably laugh because you're going to say, you can't fly that. Have you got the picture yet, Bill?
I'll have to wait 20 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Now, you know.
That's about a pound.
Yeah. So we're not flying. This is just for me to do some testing outside, you know, in the rain and stuff. So what I do, I just set this outside, and the sun goes through the plastic fine, and it's charging the battery. Now, we got the tracker in there. We've got the voltage regulators in there. We've got the battery in there. And what we've done, we've built a box so we can do some temperature testing. So let me see if I can find a good picture of the box.
How can you tell people where?
I'm not doing too good with the box. Let's see. Well, I thought I had a better picture, but anyway, what you can see here is this is insulating material, and inside this plastic box we built a it's like a styrofoam insulation, but we built a box down inside there, and that little styrofoam type top will lift off, and we're going to put the battery right now. The battery will just lay inside that box there, and we'll be putting dry ice in. Now, dry ice, the temperature of dry ice is a minus 109 degrees Fahrenheit. So dry ice is going to be minus 78 degrees centigrade. So we're going to pack it in dry ice, the battery in that insulated box there. We'll put the top back on it. We'll put the top back on where we can then crank it up and test it here. And we'll see. And I've got, if you notice, I've got some, and I got to do a little better tape job. But I've got some voltage points out there. I got some current points out there where I can actually look at voltage and current at different places. So we're going to put the battery in an environment of minus 78.5 degrees centigrade, and we're going to try to charge it, and we're going to run it down, and we're going to time it, and we're going to just play with it. And
well,
then,
make sure that you vent that box, or it'll explode on you.
You think we need to vent it?
Oh, absolutely, you need to vent it because all that carbon dioxide is going to want to turn into a gas.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably leave the handles unlocked there. That way the lid can kind of raise as it percolates, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I probably won't punch any holes in it, but anyway, we'll see what happens here. Either, and we got to be careful. We don't want to burn our hands with the dry ice, and we also don't want to explode a LiPo battery. LiPo batteries exploding are not fun. I've had one do that here. They're not fun at all. So we're going to see what happens here. And if we get good results, then we'll take the components here, we'll put them together, and we will launch this thing, and we'll get it up in the air. And Bill, it's going to be a little heavy. I'm looking at about 22 grams here, and I know that's heavier. We're flying 15 grams now, but this is going to be about 22 grams. But I think the tracker that we flew to Poland on the small balloon, I think it was 22 to 24 grams. So this is not going to be too much different from that. Plus we'll have the big balloon. I think it can handle this capacity. So if we get good results with this battery, then we'll get the good balloon, and we're going to launch again. And then we get to stay up 24 hours a day watching it. I don't know if I can take any more of that, but we're probably going to wait a little while to see how Dash 18 does. If Dash 18 is flying and having fun, we'll probably delay launching this one for a while, and we'll just keep testing it here on Earth there.
What are the temperature limits on the chips themselves on that board?
Who knows? Well, a lot of the things like the GPS module and different things, I think the specs on those show something like minus 40 Celsius.
Typically minus 40 is the industrial.
Yeah, somewhere minus 40, but it can get a whole lot.
They'll work outside of that limit, but it might be out of spec.
Yeah, and like Bill was saying earlier, we probably at night we're probably a lot colder up here than minus 50. It's probably a lot colder, and that's the interesting thing about this. It's still working.
Yeah, because if you're going to stick it with minus 80-degree dry ice, that's probably going to take those chips out too.
Well, those chips are probably those chips. Hey, let me tell you. Well, it's not really. Well, there's a couple.
They see that every night, Glenn, in a balloon flight in the jet stream. They're at minus 60 to minus 80.
Yeah, they're in that.
It's not going to kill it. It's just going to make it not work so good.
Well, it's there, but Glenn, they're flying in that temperature right now. That's the temperature up there right now. So that's why we're going to take this. This is going to be very close to what we got up there and do some experiments with it, So we'll let you know how that goes, man. All right.
Yeah, let me drop back to the noise issue and give you my noise story real quick. We were doing a Mississippi QSO party about 8 years ago, and we were operating portable, a couple counties over, and we'd taken our beam and all this stuff and done a huge setup. We power everything up, and we had noise levels so bad we couldn't hear anything, and we just couldn't figure it out. We thought it was the fluorescent lights in the building we were at, just everything. Come to find out, it was one of the AC power chargers for one of the laptops we were using.
I have found that in a shack. Just a wall wart, just a 12-volt wall wart that was plugged in. It was really trashy, man.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yep.
These new, some of those CFL lights, that they can produce energy. They have an oscillator in them, and they can produce energy right across the 20-meter band. Mm-hmm. I think they're pretty close to the resonant frequency. I don't have any CFL bulbs in my house for that very reason. But one thing you also have to worry about, sometimes the power transmission lines or the transformers will produce a lot of noise, and you can actually, if it goes right up in the VHF range, you can actually DF it to see which power pole is the problem. If you call the power company, they will eventually fix it.
Yeah, that was a big problem in Florida with the salt air on the power lines causing a lot of that.
Well, hey guys, we're opening up the phone lines. If you want to say hi to Dave or Glenn or Bill, give us a call, 712-775-7270.
Another big power noise is you're next to a farm that has like horses. Electric fence.
Yeah.
The generators on electric fence are horrible.
Yeah, I gotta.
You know, I think where Katie lives out in Wyoming, they have almost no noise there. I remember one day Chip brought a really expensive radio there and plugged it in and was going to operate it there. And Chip threw his hands up in the air and thought his radio was bad because the S meter had 0 on it when he turned it on, you know. And they told him, said, well, that's just the way it is around here.
Wow.
We're real quiet out here too in Colorado, the western slope.
Hey, let me ask a question. You know, and one thing that might improve a lot, and I've seen some good results, is something like that BHI, what is it, BHI noise, what do you call it? You know what I'm talking about, Dave? It's a device you hook into your speaker line, and it's BHI makes it, and it's a noise reduction unit.
Oh, well, I know Time Wave makes a good one.
And you know, I see them demoed, and it really did a good job. But then I'm wondering also, I've got like a 7610 here. I mean, it's got internal adjustments for all the different, level, frequencies. And I'm just wondering if it might do as good as one of those audio boxes.
The noise reduction in the newer
Stand by, caller.
the newer radios has gotten really good. But the best noise reduction I ever saw was 20 years ago, was the little Time Wave DSP 599 Plus. Boy, that could knock down anything.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, that may be the just perfect accessory for your shack, man, something like that. If you can find something to knock all this noise down and hear a signal clear, that's worth a lot of money. Hey, we got a caller on the phone. Let's see who's on the phone. Who's there?
This is Cliff, K-A-8-G-O-V from Dayton, Ohio.
Cliff, how you doing, man?
All righty. Missed you this year at Dayton since we didn't have Dayton this year, but missed you being there and the whole gang. But hopefully next year. But anyway, I have a question for Dave.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, I know you like magnetic loop antennas, and I'm thinking about getting one for my apartment because I can't put one outside. How well does a magnetic loop works in an apartment situation?
Well, you need to get the thing either up against a window or get it outside if you can. If you've got a balcony, put it on the balcony.
No.
Now, remember that if you put the thing directly against the window, that the thing has a null that's along the axis of the loop. You need to turn it sideways so that it's edge on out the window. And some people have had good luck with that. Apartments are just difficult situations.
Yeah, Dave, you make a good point there. You know, you take a loop, a wire loop antenna or something, and the lobes come out the side, the broad side to the loop. But in a magnetic loop, the signals come off the edges. It goes the direction of the edges of the loop. So that's something that I found when I was playing with these I was building. But a lot of people are using those. I don't know. I guess if it's a last result, maybe that might be something to try. But you know, Dave, as long as I can get a wire out or something, I don't think I would use a magnetic loop.
Well, a lot of people have used
I can't put nothing outside due to my lease, but but I can't put nothing outside. I live in a senior citizens apartment.
Do you have a balcony?
No.
No, okay. Yeah, you can, well, for UHF and VHF, you can just tape one of those Slim Jim inverted or Slim Jim J-poles right to the window. One thing you have to be careful of is in some higher rise buildings, the windows have a metallic film on them to reduce the amount of heat coming in. And that metallic film will make it hard for an antenna to get out through it.
Hey, Cliff, do you have maybe a double window somewhere, a big window? Or are they all small?
I have a big window in the living room area.
Uh-huh. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I tell you what you can do. One thing you can do is you can actually make you a wire loop around like a big double door or window. And I know there's some loop tuners out there. MFJ makes one that you just connect to that loop wire. And that loop wire, it doesn't have to be any certain length, but certain lengths work better for certain band not segments, but areas. For instance, if you wanted to work 20 and 17 and so forth, it might work better if it's a certain length long. But you can put you a loop wire around a big window, and those loop tuners will tune it. I don't know if a regular tuner would tune it or not. I would think it probably wouldn't be as effective.
Oh, okay. I'll take that out. Okay, well, we'll get on here now.
Okay,
say hello to everybody. And by the way, I don't know if you guys knew about this or not, but the Air Force Marathon has been canceled. They canceled it as of today. It's supposed to be in September, but the ham operators like to help out with that, but it got canceled today. The Air Force Marathon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Cliff,
Okay.
thank you, man.
Well,
we got
I'll
another caller. Let me take him. Hey, we'll see you next year up here.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you, Cliff. All right. Who we have on the phone?
Hey, Tom, it's Jeff.
I thought that might be you.
How are you?
I saw the number and I said, I bet that's Jeff. How you doing, man? I hadn't talked to you in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't been able to watch your show here for a little bit, so I'm glad I'm able to watch tonight. And wow, we sure miss Dayton, don't we?
Yeah. Well, so we don't get to see you this year. It's going to be a couple of years, man. You probably look like an old guy next time we see you.
I don't think so.
Just
I may be
remember.
pretty good at that.
Just remember,
like that,
man.
but-
Just remember the wheel. That flex
Oh,
is
right, that's all set. It's written in stone.
okay. As long as the flex is still in the wheel, I'm okay, man. I'm okay.
Yeah, wow. It's a shame that we didn't get to meet. I'm glad that we actually got to see each other and got to see Kathy in Orlando
Yeah.
back in February before all this stuff happened.
Yeah.
So,
So-
you guys are all doing real well.
So how you doing up there in your area in New Jersey? Is it pretty bad up there, or are you guys? Is the fright level coming down any?
It is, and I'm close to Philadelphia. I'm very close to Philadelphia. I can drive into Philadelphia in 10 minutes, so I'm not close to New York City. That's about 90 miles away. So that's upstate was the worst, but we're surviving. I'm working from home. Thank God, I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
And, just enjoying. I don't know, trying to work from home and figuring out this new little life that we have for a while until we can get back in the office and get back to normal.
Yeah, down here things are seeming to get back to normal. I went to Lowe's and Home Depot today, and I mean, people are out just like nothing's going on. Some people are wearing masks, some are not, but I think they're trying to keep their distance, and it's not the big talk of the town anymore. Things seem to be getting back. Restaurants are open, and maybe with 50% seating, and
we don't have any seating in restaurants yet. There's takeout always, but I haven't done any of that. I have been to the beach. I have a home in Ocean City, New Jersey, and I've met up with some of my friends down there. And we keep 6 feet apart, and we're not wearing masks on the beach. But I certainly do if I go to Home Depot or I'm going to be close to someone at the supermarket. Well, supermarket we have to wear the masks. That's mandatory in any store here in New Jersey right now. So, but we'll work it all out. It's getting better. Hopefully, we'll all get back to normal soon, and maybe we'll have Dayton next year.
Yeah, I think we will.
All right. Well, I'll let you go. It was very nice to talk to you again, Tom.
It was great hearing from you. We'll see you later, Jeff. Thanks, man. Thanks for calling.
All right. Good night.
All right. All right. Phone lines still open. Give us a call. I don't like listening to this music. I'll turn it down.
You're going to have to come up with some better elevator music than that.
Well, that's some terrible elevator music, isn't it? Talk about antennas. Let's see. Chris, Chris moved to Austin, and that's my son, and he, the bands have been so bad. Plus, he's in an HOA, and we were trying to put up some invisible antennas, and we've done things like, put a very small gauge wire out the window over the roof, tune it with a tuner, those kind of things. But either the noise is just too high there, or something's going on. And another thing, down in Austin and down in Texas, they build these roofs with some type heat reflective surface in them. I don't know if they've got some type metal reflective surface in the shingles or whatever. So it may be that the wires is laying on top of a tin roof or something like that. So he was here about a week ago, and we're trying everything we can. I don't have the pictures he sent. His yard is about 3 foot wide in this HOA, so he didn't have a lot of space. So he does have a back a porch he can step out on. It's probably 5 foot by 9 foot, but I built him up a little vertical here. Let's see, these aren't very good pictures. I got the little welder out and welded a couple legs that will swivel here. You can open this up into a tripod. So we made a little mount right there. That's just a standard antenna ball on top of it right there. And we took 102 inch steel whip, typically a CB type whip that fits that. I did have a 54 inch stainless steel a rod that screws in there that was made for a Hustler. I had made for some Hustler antennas. So we actually can screw a 54 inch piece in there and then screw the 102 on top of that, which makes it about, 13 feet or so. His radio is actually tuning it on a number of bands. We just don't know how well it's working yet. So he's got it out on his back porch. I don't know if that's you can see his porch right there. Actually, there's a picture of it sitting on the back porch right there. We're trying to get something very low key where you don't see it. And of course, he can take it down at night when he's not using it or during the day. But the little three-legged tripod will open up, and he just lays it right there on the back porch. And we were thinking maybe if we got a vertical up there, it might function a little bit differently than a wire laying on a roof,
It looks possible there with that eave. You could probably put some kind of folded dipole right up on the inside of that eave and nobody would see it.
Well, he would never do that. First of all, that eave is that porch right there is 9 feet off the ground. So you would have that eave up there would probably be 25 feet high, and of course he would never do that in that HOA. I think they're really strict down here and would probably not allow him to do that.
Now, Tom, I've got for HF, I have S9 antennas. Used to be a company that I believe they were bought by LDG, but it's basically a fiberglass fishing pole in 4-foot sections that bolt together that extend. And inside is basically a number 14 gauge wire, maybe 12 gauge, and that it's a vertical wire, and it's held up by the fiberglass tube, and they've got a fancy little mount that you pound into the ground,
Uh-huh.
a couple of feet into the ground, and it works great as long as you put some good radials on it.
Yeah, and that's what we did. I gave him some wire.
It's green, and it blends right in. If he has any trees, no one even see it.
Yeah, and
that's
we got three radios, just three wires that we just kind of stretch out into the bottom of that, and I mean it should work. I mean, when I go to North Carolina and operate portable, I just throw a line up my tree and I lay about three radios down the ground, and I talk anywhere and everywhere. But he's got a really high noise in that area, and the bands haven't been good.
Antenna?
What was that?
A flagpole antenna?
No, he can't. Nothing here. He's just renting.
Flagpoles, my goodness.
Yeah, he's just renting there right now. I think he'll eventually probably go out and maybe get him a home somewhere, not an HOA deal. I mean, he doesn't even have a tree there. Nothing. This is in Austin, Texas.
See, on a first or second floor?
First.
Oh.
Well, no, I'm sorry. His house is a 2-story, but his first floor is 9 feet off the ground in the back where that porch was, and it's ground level in the front, where the garage is. But yeah, he's got his ham shack upstairs.
I still say I see that eve, and I think middle of the night, paint it, you'd never know it's there.
Well, it would take a really long extension ladder to get up there. You'd have to, commando, you'd have to dress commando stuff, camouflage, nighttime, do all the, get rid of all the shining spaces.
Yeah, I used to, when I lived on a second floor apartment, and I used to have a lead weight with some little 30 gauge wire, wire wrap wire, and I managed to throw that across a pine tree that was probably about 30, 40 feet behind my apartment. And if I, didn't feel like loading the rain gutter that day because the TVI was horrible, I would throw that long wire through the trees, and since it was that blue wire wrap wire, you couldn't tell it was
all
there.
You got to do, if you can get a piece of wire in the air and tune it, it'll work fine. And we got a couple people on the phone. We'll get to you in just a minute. I mean, here's, we talked about rain gutters. Some people say it's awful. Don't do it. But if it's the only thing you've got, try it. And, I showed you on the show the other night, Wink, W-A-8-K-O-Q, sent us an email, and he says he's been using his rain gutter on his house for many years, and he's talked all over the world on it, hadn't had a bit of trouble. And where he had 2 different rain gutters on the front of his house, he actually connected them with a wire up there at the peak. He put a wire in, he just connected the 2 rain gutters together, and it worked fine here. Hey, we got a couple people on the phone. Let's see who's on the phone here. Let's see who we got there. Richard, are you there, Richard?
Yeah, KB3ZVH, Richard, Erie, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah, I was thinking, couldn't he put up a vertical like one of those flagpole verticals where the HOA wouldn't know it's an antenna? For all they know, it's just a flag.
No, I think, and I've talked to him, I think he says no flagpoles allowed, no nothing's allowed. I mean, he's renting there. It's some real restrictions, and probably best just
they are strict.
Yeah.
What about running a loop in the living room inside?
Well, we got to try that. And he's on the second floor, and I said, hey, you don't have a ground up here. Lay some counterpoise down, down the side of the wall, down the room, down the steps. Put some counterpoise in there. Hook it, the back of your radio, your tuner, and so forth. And that's another thing we could try is to just make the biggest loop we could in there, And again, like in his room there, so if the room is say 10 foot, he could probably only get an 8 foot by 10 foot loop up or something in there.
Or maybe do folded dipoles on the walls.
Well, there's got to be something you can do, and like I always say, you'll find a way to do it. If the enemy is attacking, you'll find some way to set something up, and it will work. Hey, let's see. That was Richard. Don't go away, Richard. David.
Just one final thing I was going to ask you. Did you see where they eliminated Huntsville?
Yeah, I did, and I got a call from Mark, and that was I kind of expected it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
There was a lot of restrictions because of the COVID-19. A lot of restrictions actually that the Ham Fest couldn't, probably handle. I think, and I probably shouldn't even talk about any details, but they were going to restrict the number of people that could come in at any time, things like that. Not the Ham Fest, but the medical people. So it was going to really be a big mess, and you wonder too with COVID going, you don't know how it's going to be then. There was probably a lot of people that might not show up or go just because of that. So there were so many unknowns. I think they made the best decision.
Okay, I'll let you get to the next person. So I'll say 73 and catch you later.
Okay.
AB3 ZBH.
Okay, thanks, Rich. And hey, David, is there a David in here?
No, Tom, but I'm using David's phone.
Oh yeah, I recognize the voice. That's my pirate station buddy right there.
Oh yeah, KG0BK.
How you doing, man?
You didn't ever tell anybody about your college days.
Well, yeah,
so
I did.
We won't go into that.
I told him I had a pirate station on. It didn't stay on very long. Nobody would really tune into it, But hey, at least I didn't sell advertising. I didn't sell advertising on my pirate station. Meeting with the mayor. Was it you meeting with the mayor or the FCC? I don't remember the whole story, but
that was the station manager and the FCC. I just should have been the mayor and the station manager. But
all right. So you see, hey Russ, there's a big difference between me and you with pirate stations. You sold advertising, man, space on your station. All I did was I would looking out the window and I'd say honk or flash your lights if you hear us, and you'd see the lights flash, and that's about the extent of our station. We didn't have a lot of good music or anything on it.
Oh yeah, well we did that too. Well, we played music. Yeah. Anyway.
So what's going on, man? Where are you now? You kind of travel around, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But the thing was, first of all, Ron and Dave, thank you very much for being on the show. Thanks for having them, Tom. Dave, you're my number one. Can't do that. I'm on Tom's show. Dave, you're my number two.
Oh, you can make him. Hey, you can make him number. Hey,
I can
be 1A. I can be 1A, and Dave can still be 1B.
Okay.
And we'll put Glenn. Hey, we'll put Glenn down there about 6.
That'll work.
Yeah, because I didn't buy the fisherman thing. Is that the same guy, Ron Popiel?
He actually may be related, but I've disowned him since he's not sharing the money.
Okay, we won't go there then. What I called was I've been in apartments now for
stand by, Danny.
14 years, I guess. I went for the greatest places in the city you could been into. Got into, anyway, won't go into all that. But what's working now, and I don't have a balcony, which I did before. It was a wooden balcony that looked kind of like a mini wooden, what you call it, deck, I guess, that went all the way around the back of the building. It was 120 foot long.
Oh, wow.
Guess who can hide wire in there?
Man.
It was only 4 foot from the building, but it worked. But what I'm using now is I ended up with a sharp ham stick, and I was using 2 of them as a dipole type setup, and it worked
depending on which direction you had it pointed in and so on, it worked. It could get out. But then I found out if I throw the ham stick out the window, which is only, it's 4 foot long, I think, and the stinger's not less than 4 foot long. So you got maximum 8 foot out the window. The other 33 foot, I just hooked to a wire and ran across the inside of the house, around the corners and such as a counterpoise. And that one seems to work real well.
Hey, Russ, I'll tell you something. There's a guy that checks the internet every Tuesday night, Anthony, down in Texas, and his antenna is laying and running down the top of I think a wooden fence, and that's a perfect spot, man, to hide and mount an antenna. And he does fine with it, on that thing. Hey, stand by, Russ. Let's see who else is on the call here. Is there a Danny on there?
Yes, sir.
Who's that?
KI5EXY.
I'm sorry, I talked when you talked. What was the name in your call again?
KI5EXY.
Okay, and your name?
Danny.
Danny, okay. All right, well, very good. How you doing, Danny, and where are you?
Good. I'm in Grangerland, Texas.
Okay. Razorland. What do y'all do down there?
No, G is in Granger.
Oh, Granger.
I might have a bad phone.
No, well, the audio's not just great here. Okay, great.
I want to call back in on another phone.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's a big delay.
Yeah, you're going to have a delay if you're listening to it on the show, for sure. So what's going on down there in Texas tonight, man? You must be listening to us on the show.
Probably, yeah. I was going to say another quick trick is, again, middle of the night stuff. Stick a buddy pole and a tripod outside.
Well, that's what I made him, the tripod. It's so stealth. If he sits on his patio back there, you could probably leave it out there in the day, and most people wouldn't complain about it, He didn't really have enough yard to set it out in the yard. But, it should work.
Now, I remember Joe Large, W6CQZ, who did the HFWST and a lot of JT65 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He only used a ham stick outside for his JT65 work.
Yeah. Well, I know there's many things will work, but again, I think he's fighting some really high noise down there, and the band's pretty bad, and I don't know what.
Yeah, noise is going to be the bigger issue.
Yeah. And his radio's okay. He brought his radio up here last week, and we hooked it up and tried it, and it sounds fine. Let's go back to David. David, you still there?
It's Russ, Tom.
Russ, that's right.
I know
that's
it
right.
says. I know it says David on the phone.
I can't keep up with who I got on the phone here. You're right.
I'm gonna have to talk to David and say, could you just change that to my name? Tom gets so confused. But,
well,
that was about all I had. Just try something to get you on. What I'm gonna try now is I still got room to go out to about 60 foot or so, and so I also bought a 75 meter ham stick, and we're gonna give that a shot. I tried that with 2 of them and was able to get from Iowa down to the net I check into a lot down in south to Minnesota, and a guy in Tennessee. I was able to talk to them just fine about an S7 signal they had on me, and I had them about the same. So works. Yeah, it's just anything. I tried in the house and it worked, and I tried out of the house and it worked better. And so if you could throw something out, if nothing else, throw it out the window, and when you're done, just bring it back in.
Yeah, that's what we're trying. We're trying all those things right there, Russ.
So, all right. Well, thanks, Tom, and thanks, Ron. And we won't go into that discussion on the fishermen anymore ever again. I've got that down here. Do not talk about fish.
Okay, all right, man. Hey, thanks for calling, man. I hadn't heard from you in a while. I was wondering.
Dave, thanks. I watch your show all the time. I just don't usually get on there live. I just watch the replays. But thank you very much for what you're doing, and it looks like it's helping a lot of people. And thank you, Tom, everybody. 7-3.
All right, 7-3 to you.
Yeah, I got a quick story on that Ron Popiel stuff.
All right, you got to hang on a minute. We'll tell a story in just a minute. We'll be back in a minute. Get out and be active with ICOM's new IC705 and its optional multifunction backpack. The IC705 is your perfect QRP companion, as you have base station features and functionality at the tip of your fingers in a portable package covering HF 6 meters, 2 meters, and 70 centimeters. This compact rig weighs in at just over 2 pounds with RF direct sampling for most of the HF bands and IF sampling for frequencies above 25 megahertz. It also has a large 4.3-inch color touchscreen with a live band scope and waterfall. It features 5 watts with the BP272 or 10 watts with 13.8 volts DC. You have single sideband CW, AM, FM, as well as full D-Star capabilities. It has a touchscreen display, micro USB connector, Bluetooth, and WLAN. It also has an integrated GPS with the antenna and with the GPS logger, a micro SD card slot, and it comes with the HM243 speaker microphone standard. The LC192 is a perfect accessory for the IC705, with a special compartment for your IC705 and room for accessories for soda, activations, or just a day in a park. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
LDG Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need. From QRP to QRO, fixed stations, portable and remote, an LDG tuner will match your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast, proprietary tuning algorithms. LDG is a family-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing innovative, quality products to the amateur market. All LDG products carry a full 2-year warranty that is fully transferable. Support is only a phone call or email away. We're always here to help you. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com.
Okay, guys, we are back. And you know what? We almost killed the whole night here. It's 9:30 my time.
It's been late for old guys like you.
It is getting late, especially if you hadn't had anything to eat. My stomach says, feed me, man, feed me. So I'll probably go in there and get me a peanut butter sandwich in a minute, and kind of right after that, maybe a big old bag of popcorn, on top of that. Maybe about a 2-liter Coke on top of that, wash it down. So, maybe sit back and...
The butter and jelly idea, I might just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can see the demons are up, so they're like, the show's almost over, isn't it?
Oh, wait, we got Russ, you still there? Let me turn this down. Russ, you still there? I'm still showing Russ' phone line is still up.
Glenn, your cats probably hear our parakeets here.
Danny, is there a Danny
Oh,
on
that, and she wants this drawer open because she knows there's a plaything in there. I can't use the T word.
Okay, so this is a Danny, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What isn't that the name that came up with Russ a while ago, Danny? And I called him Danny. Now do we have a Danny now? Who we got?
Tom's just so confused.
KI5 EXY, Danny.
EXY, Danny, KI5. Okay, the last caller's name came up Danny. I thought he was still on, but this is a different Danny. How you doing, man? And where are you?
Good. I'm in Grangerland, Texas.
Grangerland?
Yep, Texas.
Grangerland, Texas, okay. Well, cool, man. Are y'all getting any of that hurricane crystal ball or whatever? Glenn, how do you pronounce that hurricane?
Cristobal.
Is it crystal ball? Y'all getting any of that crystal ball down that way?
Not a thing. Nope. Missed it totally. I'm northeast of Houston, 50 miles.
Okay. Well, it came through here this morning, and it caused a lot of problems here.
Yeah, I was watching it. I kind of figured you're in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, we're in western Tennessee, so it came right up through here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so you've been doing a lot of hamming, Danny?
Well, I'm still technician. I'm using Dave's videos to get up to speed to take the general test, and
okay.
I'm kind of following Dave's reference station stuff. I'm wearing out ham radio outlet.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you something, man. Study it, follow his material, and study it. The general is where you want to go, man. You know, the tech is you're a ham when you get your tech license, but I like to see people move on. There's so much more that you can do, to expand that license.
So I've got a complex question that you guys that's been around a long time might be able to answer. So I sold everything and moved into an RV. The RV itself has a 50 amp service. I'm going to attach my antenna. I have to use a vertical to the aluminum, the metal frame of the RV. But I want to run a separate 30 amp service from the power pole into the rear of the RV. That won't be bonded to the crossover bond to the 50 amp service. It's already bonded to the neutral.
Yeah.
But the 30 amp and the 50 amp neutral are bonded together in the pedestal, power pedestal.
Yeah.
Do I need to worry about grounding a leg from my 30 amp service to the aluminum or the metal frame just to be safe?
Why are you running an extra 30 amp service? What is that for? The 50 amp should run that pretty well.
Well, in the back of the toy hauler, there's only one 110 AC outlet, and it's for a washing machine. So there's no actual power service whatsoever in a toy hauler garage, this model. That's why I ran the 30 amp from the RV park pedestal into the rear to hook up the DC power supply and all of that.
So you're talking about, when you said 30 amp, you're talking about running 110 back there. This is not.
It's 110 30 amp.
Yeah.
The 50 is 110 also, 50 amp.
Yeah. People can go hog crazy putting circuits in and extra things, and sometimes it's not that necessary. I mean, you got to just think about all the things that are turned on at the same time. I mean, if you were the fire marshal and you came by, my booth or something, or came by here, you'd say, you got 25 things plugged in that one wall receptacle right there. Well, yeah, right. but each one of them draw only maybe one, they only run 1 watt, and 80% of them are off at any given time. So you're really not overloading it. You just may have a lot of things plugged into it. So if the enemy, let me give you this suggestion. If the enemy was attacking, if the enemy was attacking, I'd put a three-way plug in here where that watch machine is, and I'd plug in there.
Well, you can have the RV service people add outlets in there. 50 amps will run. I mean, the reason you need 50 amps is to run the air conditioners in there.
There's 3 big ones in it.
Yeah,
I've got 3 big ones.
3 on top.
Right,
That's not unusual.
They run right at
a big
36 amps when they're all running on the 50.
So let's see. If you're running a toy hauler, that's not a motorhome itself. That's
fifth wheel.
That's what happened.
Yeah, it's a fifth wheel.
Now, with the grounds should be bonded at a single point, and I think that we have a trailer. It's 30 amp, and I don't think the ground is the 3-wire ground, or the 3rd wire ground, the green wire ground, is bonded to the neutral in the trailer. I think it's relying on the pedestal for that.
And then there's a big copper bus that goes to the frame on this one, because it also has a generator.
Are you having an RV installer take a look at your installation?
Well, what it is I bought a 30 amp, 50-foot 30 amp cord, and it comes right into underneath the back sliding glass doors.
Yeah.
And then I plugged a 3-way breakout 110 receptacles on that 30 amp. One goes to the surge protector for the PCs, and this next one will go to the 12-volt power supply.
Yeah.
Then I'll have one spare for whatever else I need.
Your 12-volt power supply for a 100-watt station is only going to pull about 200 to 250 watts. So it's not a heavy load. You don't need your own circuit for like an IC 7300 or something like that.
Yeah.
My recommendation is that you have an RV electrician look over your installation and give you ideas.
Okay. Sure.
That's good advice. Or just plug it in with the washing machine. Put one of those 3-way adapters in there.
Yeah, I mean, like Dave was saying, a 250 watt draw from the rig is only going to be 2.5 amps at 110 volts.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had people ask this question before.
I'll pull an RV electrician in.
Yeah, I've had people ask this question of me before. The power supply puts out 20 amps. Do I need a 20 amp circuit? And it puts out 20 amps at 12 volts or 13.8. And think of the DC to DC converter, the power supply, as a DC transformer. It only takes about 2.5 amps in at 110 volts to put 20 amps at 13.8 out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's that Ohm's law stuff.
Hey, go down to Walmart, buy one of those little 3-way adapters, plug it in where the washing machine is, and plug your power supply into that.
Well, what you do is you go and you plug into your neighbor's outlet.
Yeah, that's even better.
Borrow his power.
That's even better.
Well, yeah, the pedestal has a 50 amp, a 30 amp, and a 110 GFI in the box, in the pedestal that your RV plugs into.
Yeah.
I could run an extension cord out there. Well, that's the same thing, yeah. I'll have an electrician.
But I'm with Dave. You definitely want an electrician to do it right, because you don't want to burn that thing up or short stuff out.
Yeah. It's messing with utility grounding is not something to be done just on what may look right or something. In ham radio, we tend to be a little informal about how we do things. But when you're messing with utility power, you don't want to do that. Get a qualified RV electrician to take a look.
Especially when you're dealing in a little metal shell.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, and that's why I called in. And,
all right, Danny.
I'll go ahead.
Thanks,
okay,
Danny.
well, good
everyone.
to talk to you.
Thanks, Danny. All right, I think we have on the phone Anthony. Are you there, Anthony?
Hey, Tom. It's me.
How you doing?
How's Greg and how's Dave?
I guess we're doing okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Outstanding.
How's Dave?
How's Dave? How's Dave?
Yes, how's that? Dave is doing well this evening? in Colorado?
Yeah, we had a freeze last night. It got cold here. It's 53 degrees outside right now.
I think you're talking.
Wow.
I think you're talking a little too fast for Dave, Anthony. Slow your words down just a little bit.
Yeah, and make sure that you're listening
Oh, I'm
on
sorry.
the phone and not on the internet to your signal, because the signal
No.
on the internet is delayed by quite a bit.
Anthony,
Okay, so let me try this real quick.
Anthony checks in the net every single Tuesday night. When I get the chart out, he's got a gold star by his name every week after week after week.
Good deal.
You know,
And Anthony, Anthony is the one that's got the antenna laying on the fence.
Yes. And about 45 minutes before I got on your net this afternoon, I made a contact on 20 meters to Italy.
Well, that's cool, man.
Yes.
Good deal. Was that FTA or sideband?
Yes, it was on sideband.
Sideband.
And last night I was on 40 meters towards the end of the evening, and I was listening to a gentleman on AM that was broadcasting from Boston, Massachusetts, but I don't think he heard me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those
but I do
AM
have a
people,
question. Go ahead.
The
away.
AM people are listening on AM. So if you send sideband to them, they won't understand it.
Right, and I was on AM, and he was using an SDR radio that you can tune the whether it was narrow, wide, you know, he can adjust it so people can listen to the infidelity of the AM board transmission. It was very interesting.
Good deal.
If you're using a pan adapter.
Okay.
But Dave, I do have a question to ask you because it dawned on me. On my 8-foot fence, I have a bunch of metal posts in the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Do those metal posts cause grounds or ground loops in the antenna?
No, if your antenna, I assume, is insulated wire.
Yes, it is.
I would say this: if it works, don't mess with it.
Right.
That's right.
And I just had the antenna redone yesterday, and so I got new wire. We used the same 4-to-1 balance, and we shortened it because the other one we thought we might have been having issues with it. So we decided to change the wire, and it's a far better place than where it was. So, but other than that, it does work. And when propagation is working, it's working. When it's not working, it isn't working.
Yeah.
And for what's I going to say? For Tom's son, Chris, in Austin, because I've also run this with the power company, you may want to have the power distribution company, not the people who he gets the power from, but the people who supply the power in Texas. You may want to have them check to see if there's any noise in the area, like maybe insulators or issues with no grounds on the poles and this and the other thing will cause havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I know that it has happened with me, and they've also come to my neighborhood, and everything in my neighborhood, even though I live in an HOA, is all underground. It's everything around me that's all above ground. And they found about 5 or 6 or 8 poles with no grounds, and they found some that had bad insulators and or both missing grounds and bad insulators.
Yeah, there's usually a ground on every pole, or there should be.
Right, there should be, because, and that's the thing. If the ground is gone, it's going to also affect how that transformer is operated because it's not going to ground.
Yeah.
And will cause havoc.
Yeah, most utilities, the neutral is bonded to ground at every pole.
Right. But the way the utility people told me, the gentleman has come by with his antenna analyzing equipment, checking RFI stuff. He told me that the stuff that's underground will not affect RFI as much as the stuff above ground, whether it's temperature, constriction, and expansion of the hardware will affect it. Whether you have a street light or street lights that might be messed up, which causing RFI, or insulators, or no grounds, or a combination of all the above.
Yep.
Whether you have issues during the day, you can have issues at night. You know, you could have the lights off and you still have issues with your street lights that are causing havoc. He told me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Anthony, thanks for calling in tonight.
Yes.
I think we're going to have to
You're very welcome.
We're going to close the show down. We've gone really over tonight, so we're going to close it down.
Yes.
And maybe we'll get on 40 meters here in the next few days, and we'll talk one afternoon.
Well, that will work. And I was going to ask you this doing the net, but I knew you were busy and conditions weren't that great. But have you thought about maybe trying 80 meters and 20 meters, trying to get maybe see if they want to do net control? Because I know you talked about it in the past.
Yeah. I'm open to maybe try a 20-meter net or whatever, 80. At least we'll get different people on there. You know, there's a lot of people that,
right,
you know, we're the wrong distance from, and we're just not going to talk to on 40. Yeah, we might try that.
It was just a thought. I just figured I'd bring that up. Kids, you know, it's been a while since you thought about it and you wanted to try something new and this and that and the other thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I know there's options there for everybody. But I want to say good night to everybody at 7-3. And as good hams as we all are, practice social distancing. It doesn't take a virus for us hams to practice social distancing. We've been doing it since day one of amateur radio.
Yeah, all right.
You know, if we can't get out of the house, at least our signals can get out without having to worry about getting sick from a virus.
Yep.
All right. Well, take it easy down there in Texas, man, and we'll see you.
Take care.
Good night.
Take care. Take care, Steve. Bye.
All right. We're going to close this down, guys. We've been here a long time tonight. Had a good time. Covered a lot of things. Bill, you've been quiet the last few minutes. You still there?
Oh yeah, the parakeets were acting up, so I had it on mute.
Yeah, I heard them a couple times there.
They like the sound of your voice. They really get once you start talking, they really start getting excited and start really chiming in. So
what are they? Parakeets or?
Yeah, parakeets.
All right.
Pete.
Polly want a cracker? Polly want a cracker?
You got to go on.
All right, man. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to sign out. So.
All right, man. I am too. And hey, I want to talk to you sometime tomorrow. Explain to me again. You know, I want to set the voltage range again. I know you showed me in Python. You said you changed the numbers to 0 to 1, 2, or whatever. I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know what a 1 is or a 2 is.
I'll let you know.
Just kind of give me an explanation of what that means, and I'll play around with it and see what it does here. Good night, everybody. Dave, thanks for being here. Glenn, thank you. Bill, we'll see you later. I'm going to go look and see where the balloon is. Maybe to start talking tonight. It's getting better.
I'll hang in there for just a minute, and after the show, and I'll
okay.
tell you.
All right, all right. So I'm going to say good night to everybody. We're going to close the show right now abruptly. We're not going to show the Glen Popiel cat video with the tinfoil on his head. So.
No, just look here, and you see the one. This one's going to get some tinfoil one day.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. Good night, everybody.